Hello everyone, Absent Friend here, and today we are coming at you from the game table with a brand new game, Halloween 2. Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell to get notified when new episodes are available. Let's check it out. And here we are at the gaming table. Now you might be looking at this going, hang on a second, this isn't Disney Villainous. What's going on here, Absent Friend? Well, we've done all the Disney villains that I can do. I've talked about them in guides. I've done solo matches. There are a couple of subjects and things that I might get into later. I have to kind of work on them and do some research and things before I dive into those. And of course, there'll be some new villains coming that I'll definitely be doing when that time comes. But in the meantime, I figured it's time to maybe take a break and try out some different games here in solo mode and show you guys at them, and hopefully you'll enjoy them and maybe want to try them yourself. Okay, so this is very different than Disney, right? This is straight up horror movie. The Halloween series, starting with Halloween 1 from 1978 with Jamie Lee Curtis, and then Halloween 2, its direct sequel, also with Jamie Lee Curtis. This one came out in 81, and so I love this movie. I love the whole series. I love Friday the 13th. I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are just so much fun to watch, you know, and it's kind of weird to say, oh, it's so much fun to watch people die all the time. Well, you know, it's fiction, right? So you just kind of go with it. And I always just find it interesting, fascinating how they decide to off some of these people. It's so creative. But anyway, so this game came out pretty recently, maybe in October of last year, probably. And it's just interesting that they chose Halloween 2 instead of Halloween 1, but since this one had a lot more deaths, I can see why they picked this one. But there you have it. So anyway, the company who makes this game is called Stop the Killer, and that's the game guide, and you can see their little logo right there. So they have a website, stopthekiller.com. Check them out. They have a lot of other awesome horror games. They have Silent Night, Deadly Night. They have My Bloody Valentine, and now this one. And they're also coming out with the Thanksgiving game based on that Thanksgiving horror movie that came out not too long ago. They're gonna have one based on the original Black Christmas, which if you've ever seen that, that's really good. And then they have a couple more. They have one coming out next month based on Scream called the Ghostface game. And they have another one based on Happy Birthday to Me, which is another horror movie game, or another horror movie based game. But yeah, so they really like their horror movies, and they really like making games based on horror movies. So I'm really looking forward to trying some of these others out. This is the first one I've ever bought from this website. So all right, enough of that. Let's get to it. All right, so first of all, whenever you set this up, the one thing that set me on this, well, other than it just being about Halloween, but the one thing I loved about it, it was a nice surprise when I got it. I read the instruction books and it said for 1 to 4 players. Now that is rare in the board game community. Whenever you buy a board game, it usually says 2 to 4, 2 to 6, something like that. It's always 2 to something, right? Or more. Sometimes it can be 3. You may need 3 people. I think Clue's that way. No, you can play Clue with 2 people. Anyway. But yeah, you really rarely can ever play these games by yourself, right? However, this one actually says you can, and it actually has everything that I'm going to show you today can be done with as many people as you want. I'm going to do the full 4-player thing because I just like having stuff on the board and doing things like that. But you can have all the way down to 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. It doesn't matter. I guess you could do more, but the game doesn't say anything higher than 4. So I would just stay with that for now. But if any of y'all want to experiment out there, go right ahead. I'm sure they won't mind. All right, so first things first, you have to select, which side of the board you want to be on. So there's two sides of the board. They're both set up the same way. They just have different art. First of all, look at the art. This is not pictures from the movie. This is art that someone has drawn. The only thing that, well, no, I take that back. I think it's all drawn art, like recreated from scenes of the movie. Except that was not in the movie. I mean, we see him after that, but we don't see him actually doing that in the school. I don't remember this scene either. But anyway, so there's that side of the board. But if you don't like that side of the board, this is Michael going around Haddonfield, trying to figure out what happened to Laurie and where she's at. Or you can flip it over and do this if you want a bloodbath. This is all the different kills that were made in Halloween 2. Or I say all of them, most of them. Most of the ones that we saw on screen. So yeah, all the different kills that he had and all this. So this is more of your bloodbath, and this is probably where, you know, if you're kind of squeamish and you don't want to kind of stare at these all day long, you know, maybe that's not for you. But there you have it. So anyway, I'm gonna do the stock side, not because I'm squeamish, but because I like the orange color, and I especially like the orange against my blue playmat. I think that really looks nice. Don't you agree? All right. But if you play this, you can play on any side. The rules are the same for both sides. It's just a visual aesthetic. It's up to you. Okay. So first thing you need to do is select a Michael. Okay. There's only one Michael, but you got 3 selections here. So you have the knife Michael, which is pretty much his standard in most Halloween movies. He's got a kitchen knife. That's how it all started. And he has his scalpel here, which is unique to this movie. And here he has been, if you look really, really closely, you can see he's been shot in the eyes. Spoiler alert, Michael gets shot in the eyes by a very, very gun-savvy Laurie Strode. And that's him kind of recovering from that, but he still is trying to kill people. All right, so I'm going to go with Scalpel Michael, just because it's Halloween 2, and that's what he does. So you can put him on these little stands here. All right, there we go. He goes right there. All right, so then the next thing you have to do is select your players. Now, I bought the expansion pack for this. There's 2 expansion packs. One gives you more cards, more card actions, and more players. And the second expansion adds trivia. And there's actually a trivia round thing right there. However, I will not be doing that on this playthrough just because there's no one here to do the trivia with. And yeah, I could just test my own trivia of this movie, but I just don't want to do that. So maybe I'll do that in a future video. All right. So these are the characters you have to choose from. Marion Chambers, who was the nurse in the first movie that got attacked and they stole the car. And then she comes back in this movie, which I thought was a great touch. Nurse Karen, who is the one who dies in the hot tub. Janet, poor Janet. She's the one who gets the syringe in the face after discovering Dr. Mixter, who's right there. He's the drunk doctor who gets the syringe in the eye, which is very disturbing. There's poor Jimmy. I'm not really sure if he died or not. He's very clumsy, that's for sure. And then Dr. Loomis, of course, Michael's doctor. Mrs. Alrod, which I think is a wonderful addition that you could play as. I love her. She's right there at the beginning of the movie, and she's trying to make her sleeping husband a sandwich. And she just cracks me up, that whole edition of the scene. So, just one moment, please. And we're back. Sorry about that. My cat was making evil eyes at my setup here, my Skycam setup, and he could easily pull it down if he wanted to. So I had to kind of readjust a little bit. And anyway, we have Mrs. Alves, my favorite nurse. I love her. I love how she is just so stern with all the staff, but with the patients, she's very, very calm and has a wonderful bedside manner. Bud, who and Nurse Jill, who I knew she was going to get it, but I hate that she did get it because she was really nice and bubbly and everything else. And so then we have Mr. Garrett, Sheriff Brackett, Alice, who bites it very early in the show, and of course Laurie herself. So I think for this playthrough, we're going to have these three: Laurie, Dr. Loomis, and Marion Chambers, because they were the final three in the movie, and Jimmy, because these were pretty much the last to die, or the last to either die or survive in the movie. They don't have that sheriff guy or that officer guy who stupidly leans over Michael. He's dead. No, he's not. Look at him. He's still breathing. But he stopped breathing. All right. So, okay. So we need, you know what? I just realized this orange is for the people. Michael gets a black stand. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right. So we're going to put Jimmy on a stand. We're going to put Laurie on a stand. Laurie, wait. Poor Jamie Lee Curtis had to go around in that hospital gown, which I'm sure was very cold. And she seemed to be drugged out of her mind the most of the movie. And, okay. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Okay. All right, so there we go. We have our players. Okay, now what's the next thing we have to do? Well, you can see we have these weapons here. We can only pick 3 at a time. I'm going to keep them all here because we can just kind of pick as we go. But since there's 4 people, we can only have 3 weapons equipped. So somebody has to be weaponless. And the only way you can get a weapon is if you go here. And I'll show you what happens when we get there. Everything else, though, is this is a big giant grid. And the players can go anywhere they want. However, Michael has a set path to follow. And it's always a good idea to have this path out so you can kind of follow along. And you can see there's different levels. So they're both the same on either side. Oh yeah, and it comes with a QR code so you can check out the rest of their stuff. Anyway, so you have level 1, level 2, level 2, and level 3. So obviously this is the most difficult, this is moderately difficult, and this is more difficult. So there you go. Yeah. So it's just really up to you on how you want to go about it. I'm going to do the easiest one. Okay. I know y'all won't be able to see that too well, but I can see it. And I can refer to it and show you guys as we go. But anyway, always keep it right there next to the board so you can see Michael's path. And you as the player, as long as you don't cross paths with Michael, you won't you won't have to worry about him. He can only kill you if he lands on your spot. Now I was under the impression before that if he passes through you, then he kills you. But no, he has to land on your spot. So if he passes through you, that's okay. But if he lands on you, that's not okay. All right. Unless you have a weapon. Or this Sheriff Hunt, or Officer Hunt, he's not really Sheriff, badge. This is how you can protect yourself from Michael. If Michael lands on your space, or you land on Michael's space, and you don't have a weapon, or you do have a weapon, but he kills you anyway, if you have this badge, you don't die. We also have these skull tokens, which, by the way, I will pass out now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Just enough for 4 people. All right, so that's what you start with. And at first, I thought this was going to be your life. Like if Michael, if you land on the same spot with Michael and you fight him, but no, that's not your life. But if you lose all 3 of your skull tokens, you still die, which is very interesting. But there you go. All right, so one moment. Let me make sure everything is visible on the camera, and we'll get started. Okay, I think we're ready. So let's go. Also, we have these 3 dice here. We have a white die, which this moves the player. We have the orange die, which moves Michael, and it can only move 1 or 2. And we have this black die, which has a draw card or a blank. So it just depends on what you draw. And you roll all 3 at the same time, and they have this lovely little felt inside dice roller cup, which I absolutely love. This is my favorite part of the game. Oh, and one more thing. We have these roadblocks here that can block paths for us and Michael. So the more roadblocks that are out, the faster Michael will go around the board, unless a roadblock goes in a place he's already been. So the cards will dictate whether we put those out or not. All right, so let's go. Oh, you base it on who goes first by who apparently can do the best Mrs. Elrod impersonation. So definitely take advantage of that in your game with your friends. But since we're doing solo mode, I'm going to go in order of... Well, I guess we'll go in order of, like, appearance. So first we see Jimmy, then we see Laurie, then we see... Or no, actually we see Dr. Loomis first, then Jimmy, then Laurie, then Mrs. Chambers, or Nurse Chambers, Marion Chambers. So Dr. Loomis will go first because he shot him 6 times. He shot him 6 times. If you ever seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so we don't draw a card. Michael moves 1. By the way, Michael moves first every single time. Okay, so he moves 1, and Dr. Loomis will move 2. And we're going to try to head for that weapon. So we're going to go 1, 2. By the way, these shape zones are important because some things in the card say if you're in a shape zone, this happens, or if you're not in a shape zone, something happens. So, you know, I guess it just depends on the luck of the draw, I guess. Okay, and that's that turn. Okay, so now we're going to go. Okay, so these are the skull tokens. We're going to go in clockwise. So Dr. Loomis, Jimmy, Laurie, and Marion Chambers. They don't even have special abilities like each character. It's just whoever you wish. You can add lines if you have a favorite character. All right, so this is for Jimmy, and he's going to go 1 onto the Sam Hain spot, which according to the instructions, if you have a drink, take a drink and yell Sam Hain as loud as possible, I guess. So, woo! For those of you who like to drink, you can make this into a drinking game. Isn't that fun? All right, so first we're going to move 1. Oh, by the way, these alley shortcuts, Michael can't use them, but we can. It's kind of like Clue. You land on one, you immediately come out the other side. So it's a good way to evade Michael or go from one side of the board to the other really fast, but he can't take them. All right, so we moved Michael. We moved Jimmy. I should have moved Michael first. And then Jimmy draws a card. All right, now the instructions say... Actually, let me shuffle these because I haven't shuffled these since I got them out. The instructions say to shuffle them every single time and draw and fan them out and then let the player select, which again, if you're playing with a group of people, go for it. But in solo mode, that's not really practical. So we're just going to shuffle them really good. And oh, these cards are very slippery. It's hard to shuffle. Gotta rough them up some. There we go. Any card sharks out there who know good shuffling strategies and techniques, I'm willing to learn. Because I always look like a fool when I do this. See what I mean? Alright. I'm going to do this off camera. Just a moment. One more. Maybe. Okay. That I can do, sort of. All right, so now here's our first card. Everybody goes back out. If you are in a shape zone, play another turn. Oh, that would be fun, but we're not in a shape zone, so boo. Okay, all right, well, that's all right. All right, so next is Laurie. Laurie, wait. Oh, good. Okay, look at that. Okay, so Michael moves 2. You go straight down, 1, 2. And she will draw a card. We'll take care of that later. And she moves 6. So we're going to see if we can't get her over here because I like to pick up the badge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to leave her in the shape zone. Something good may happen because she's going to draw a card. Or something bad may happen in the shape zone. Let's see. Oh, look, the exact same card I just drew. If you're on a shape zone, play another turn. Well, you better believe I will be playing another turn. Okay. All right. So Laurie gets to go again. But that means Michael gets to go again. All right. So Michael goes 1, 2. Laurie goes... Oh, she misses the... or she go for the weapon. Let's go for the weapon. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. And then we'll draw a card. Take care of the card first. Didn't listen to old bud. Place a roadblock on your space. Well, we can't place a roadblock on our space because the only spaces that are immune to roadblocks are the weapon space and the badge space. So we don't have to worry about that. No roadblocks today. However, now when you land on the badge or the weapon space, you must draw the black die. And if it lands on a black side, you get the weapon. If it doesn't, like mine just did, you get nothing. And now the turn is over. Okay, so we're moving on to Marion Chambers now. Dr. Loomis, I have to talk to you privately. I love how dramatic she is about that. Dr. Loomis, you've been ordered back to Smith's Grove. All right, anyway, so Michael moves 2. 1, 2. Nothing happens if he lands on Samhain. So we've done that. But he's about to land on... No, he's not. He's going to go around Laurie. So never mind. But Laurie will move before... Well, no, actually she won't. So that's kind of dangerous. Anyway, he's got to go around a little bit though. So she's okay for now. Okay, so Marion will go... She moves 4. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. See, we could have done the trivia here. Wait, 1, 2, 3. No, we'll do that. We'll do that. That's fine. Okay. And she gets to draw a card. So, have 2 other players select 2 more cards for you. Well, I'm only 1 player. Jimmy and Nurse Jill want to help. See, they're so helpful. All right. So, there's 1 card. Sheriff Brackett needs to go home to his wife. If you have the save badge, you must give it to someone else. Well, we don't. Okay. I have to go home and tell my wife before somebody else does. I always hated how he played that, but who am I to say? I don't know what it's like to lose a child like that or see your child on a gurney. We've got to assume that Michael Myers is still alive. If you're not in a shape zone, lose a weapon and place a roadblock on your space. Well, we are not. We are in the shape zone. We are not in the shape zone. So there we go. So yeah, it works out both ways, doesn't it? Okay. So Marion went. Now we're on to Dr. Loomis. All right. So Michael moves 1. He goes there. And Dr. Loomis will move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he will draw a card. You don't... Poor Aunt Alicia. She's the actress who plays Nurse Janet. You don't know how to work this thing. Lose a weapon. Well, we don't have any weapons, so there we go. Mr. Garrett, how do you work this thing? Poor Janet. Okay. Yeah, that was it. All right, moving on. Jimmy. Nobody's had to lose any skull tokens yet. Oh, Jimmy does not have to draw a card. Michael moves 1. Jimmy moves 2. A 1, 2. He could take the alley shortcut. We'll leave him there in case he needs to. It depends on what he rolls on the next round. And then that's it. So no card for him. Now for Marion Chambers. Whoops. Okay, Michael moves 2. 1, 2. No card, but she gets to move 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so she's gonna go for the weapon. She can't hit the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she won't hit the officer space. 2, 3, 4, 5. She will do that though. Okay, so yeah, you can move the players any direction except diagonally, and you can't go back over a space that you've already been to. So if you've been to a space, you can't return to that space. You have to move to 5 new spaces. Okay, but she's going to try for the weapon. So here we go. Maybe she'll get a weapon. Here we go. Weapon, weapon, weapon. Nope. No weapon for her. Oh, goodness. Okay, this is not going well, but we'll see. Oh, by the way, if Michael kills us all or lands here, we lose. So, all right, we're ready for back to Dr. Loomis. Maybe he'll get a 2. No, we got a 5, but maybe we can make that work. All right, he will draw a card. Michael moves 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, we're all just piling up on the weapon spot. But that's okay. Okay, so, and he'll draw a card. So, just a minute, I gotta yell at the cat. Diego! Get down. Climbing on things they shouldn't be. Circle the block again. Place a roadblock on your space. Well, we can't because we're on the weapon space. So, too bad. So sad. Okay. All right. So, now we're going to see if Dr. Loomis will get a weapon. He does not. Wow. It's... Yeah, so there's 3 and 3. 3 black spaces, and so it's a 50-50 chance. Goodness. I've said this before whenever I was playing as Oogie Boogie. I hate dice. For the most part. I hate dice. I like games with dice, but man, do they hate me for the most part. Anyway. Alright, so let's move on to... Jimmy is next, I believe. Yes. Isn't he? Did I skip somebody? No, I didn't. Alright, so Jimmy's next. Actually, I think I did. Oh, well. Okay, so we have Michael moving 2. 1, 2. And we have Jimmy moving 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But Michael will invade his spot next. No, we better not do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do that. Just to kind of keep him out of harm's way. Okay, now for Laurie. Yeah, I think I skipped poor Laurie's turn. She was drugged out. Hi, Diego. I see you. Yes. Okay. All right. So now Michael moves 1. See, that was a good thing I didn't put Jimmy there because that would have ended badly. All right. So, and then Laurie moves 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do that with her. And then, wait a minute. Let's do that. Kind of keep her close to the badge. Okay, no card. All right, so now Marion Chambers. Oh, she gets to draw a card, but Michael moves 2. 1, 2. Okay, yeah, it's time to get off the weapon space. Because if he lands on Dr. Loomis, he will kill Dr. Loomis. Okay, so... okay, I already moved Michael 2. She moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, she's not gonna land on it. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep her kind of close to it as well. And out of the path of Michael. But she'll draw a card, so let's see what happens. Another player, just think about mustard or mayo. Don't say it out loud. Just think of one and try. And I will try to guess. Then make your guess. Now this one's going to be tough to do as a solo player. So, logically speaking, I would get it right. So we'll just move Michael back 1, right? All right. So, because I kind of know what I'm thinking. And for me, it's always mustard. Never mayo. Ugh. And then putting them together. Ugh. Okay. I mean, I love mustard, but not mayonnaise. And putting them together on that sandwich. Ugh. Ugh. I'm glad he was asleep. Okay, so that was Marion Chambers. So now we're back to Dr. Loomis. Hopefully Michael does not get a 2 because that will mean his death. Oh, he got a 1. Save. Okay, good. Okay, so then Dr. Loomis will move 3. 1, 2, 3. He gets to try for the badge. but first we gotta draw a card. So, you were late again tonight. You're a good nurse, Karen. I don't want to lose you, but you've got to start to be on time. Okay. See, I love her. I love her. The world needs more Nurse Alves, or Mrs. Alves. I need more of her. I love her. Okay, and the actress is really cool too. All right, so we're gonna try for this badge. So hopefully he will get the badge. He does. All right, so we're gonna put that over here with his stuff. All right, so Dr. Loomis has the badge. He is safe from Michael. He needs to head back to the weapon and get a weapon, and then hopefully take him out. So the others, let's see, we're now to Jimmy. Michael moves 1, Jimmy moves 1, and nothing. Okay, so, oh, by the way, if you land on a skull token space, you get your skull token. If you've lost any, you get them back. But nobody's lost any yet, except for Dr. Loomis. He lost one. All right, so now we're on to Laurie. Laurie. Okay, so Michael moves 1, and he goes here. And then Laurie moves 6. Now, there's only one badge. So, if we can try to get her a weapon, that's what we're going to do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, let's not put her in the path of Michael. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Let's just do that. So that way she has a better chance of getting a weapon next time. And she does draw a card. Place a roadblock sign on your space. Now, you can put a roadblock. Since Michael's been there, though, it's not that big a deal. All right. So, but nobody can land on that spot anymore. All right. So now we're moving on to Marion Chambers. All right. So Michael moves 2. 1, 2. Marion will move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, she's going to try for a weapon after she draws a card. The shape just stole your knife. If you're in a shape zone, lose a weapon. Well, we're not. I love how this game thinks that we have weapons all the time. Apparently, it's very difficult to get a weapon, isn't it? But let's see. We got the badge. Maybe we'll get lucky this time. Nope. Golly. All right. So we're back to Dr. Loomis. He needs to try for a weapon. Try to take this sucker out. All right. Michael moves 1. And Dr. Loomis moves 4. 1, 2. Oh, 1, 2. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of give him a chance of landing on that spot a little better next time. And that's it. Now we're moving on to Jimmy. Oh, okay. Michael moves 1. Jimmy moves 1, 2. Or how about 1, 2, 3, and just join Dr. Loomis. And draw a card. We're in the shape zone, so this could go one or two ways. Michael slashed your tire. If you are in a shape zone, lose a skull pumpkin and place a roadblock on your space. Well, that's not good. So that's Jimmy's over there. So Dr. Loomis, Jimmy, Laurie. All right, so. And we put a roadblock there. Okay. Goodness. Not as easy as one might think. It's really based on luck with dice, isn't it? All right, now we're on to Laurie. Maybe she'll get a weapon. 1, 2. Yeah, let's put her there. She might have a good chance. Oh, Michael moves 2. 1, 2. I always forget that. Okay. And that's it. Nothing else. All right. He's itching closer. Itching closer. No. All right. We're on Marion Chambers now. Okay. So Michael moves 1, and she has to move 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and she'll draw a card. Jimmy's smile makes Laurie's heart race. Aww. Aww. So everyone gets a pumpkin. Who needs one? These guys need one. Okay. That was a good one. Alright, so next is Dr. Loomis. Michael moves 1. Dr. Loomis moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dang it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's just no way. Alright, so we'll do that. And that's it. Alright, come on, Jimmy. Land on that weapon space. Dang it. 1. Oh, he landed there, but it's already out, so it's not going to do him any good. We'll just do this. 1, 2. There. Draw a card. The shape strikes. Advance Michael 1 space on the board. No. Okay. Poor Alice. Okay. So now Laurie. Maybe Laurie will get a weapon. Nope. Michael moves 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's do that. No card. So moving on to Marion Chambers. Oh, she was here. Michael moves 2. 1, 2. She moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hallelujah. All right. So, and she didn't draw a card, but let's see if we can draw that black. Finally. Okay. So let's see. What weapon should I give her? She would do well with the scalpel. No, she'll do well with the syringe. Okay, and she is down here. So that's her weapon. So, as I said, only 3 people can carry weapons in a 4-player game. So there you have it. All right, so there we go. And we might just have to send her to try to kill him, even though she doesn't have the badge. Anyway, we're moving on to Dr. Loomis now. All right, so Michael moves 2. 1, 2. And Dr. Loomis moves 1. Perfect. And let's see if he gets a weapon. He does, and he's going to get that cigarette lighter because that's how he kills Michael in the movie. Spoiler alert. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen this movie. If you haven't, go watch it. It's good. It's good. Watch the first one first because this one picks up right where the first one left off. Anyway. Okay. All right. So now we're on to Jimmy. And then, actually, now that I think about it, Laurie does appear first in the movie, but that's a recap from the previous movie. So he's the first one to technically appear in the new Halloween 2 footage, like the new stuff that they shot. So, oh well. Michael moves 2. 1, 2. And Laurie moves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're all getting on that weapon space, but let's see what happens. Michael just crushed through the door. Run. If you are in a shape zone, move 3 more spaces. Well, I'm not. So, too bad. Okay. Now it's time for Marion. Oh, wait. No, it's time for Laurie to try to get a weapon. She does not. Okay. So, next is Marion Chambers. She has a weapon and she needs to go after him because he's getting close, very, very close. 1, 2, and she goes excuse me, 1, 2. All right, he will not cross paths with her, but she could easily cross paths with him. Okay, so yeah, I think you have to land on the space. Let me check the rules real quick. I think you have to land on the space. Yeah, you must be standing in the same space, which means you have to land on the space. Yeah. You must be standing on the same weapon. Yeah. So we have to make a good landing. That's why this game is so hard. Okay, so even on the easy level. Okay, so she just went. Now it's back to Dr. Loomis. Dr. Loomis has a weapon and the badge. So we'll see what happens. All right, Michael moves 1 here. Dr. Loomis moves 3. 1, 2, 3. And he draws a card. Move Michael back 2 spaces on the board. Laurie fools Michael. I love that scene. 1, 2. All right. Wait, is that right? No, he goes there. Sorry. Okay, so yeah. So, Jimmy's next. Jimmy has no weapon. He could get one. Let's see if he does. Uh-oh. Okay, so first things first. We have to move Michael. Michael moves into a space with Dr. Loomis. That means Dr. Loomis and Michael are battling. Dr. Loomis has the badge and a weapon. So, this could end the game right here, depending on how we flick this flicker, which I'm a horrible flicker, so you have to bear with me. Okay, I'm gonna put that right there. So, if you can see that, if it lands here, we spin again. If it lands here, he kills me. And if it lands on this teeny tiny little sliver down here, then we win. It's supposed to be equal, but it's not equal. All right, so let's try it. Still fighting. Still fighting. Still fighting. Michael kills you. Well, he doesn't because we have the badge. Okay. Well, that's it though. Can't do it again. All right. So Dr. Loomis is still alive, but the badge is back in play. So Jimmy or Laurie or somebody might want to go after that. All right. Whose turn is it? Oh, it's still Jimmy's. We have to finish Jimmy's turn. He had a 2, so he goes 1, 2. Okay. Sorry about that. And I don't remember if he had to draw a card or not. Let's just say he didn't. I don't remember. Gotta remember to finish the turn. All right, now for Laurie. Laurie's gonna go after the badge. Hopefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, she's not this time. All right, and Michael moves 1. I forgot to move him first. I always forget to move him first. Okay. So there's Laurie's turn, and now for Marion Chambers, who hopefully will get a chance to kill him. Gonna have to forego the badge, make some sacrifices, because Michael's getting close. 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're just gonna have to put her in harm's way. Sorry. Wait a minute. Where was she? Here? Yeah. Okay. And then that's it. Now for Dr. Loomis. Michael moves 1. Okay, now it's Marion. She will either die or kill him. One of the two. She's going to do this with her syringe. All right, so hopefully she has that Thorazine. Ooh, still fighting. With the spinner so I can flick it better. Oh. Nope, she's dead. Goodbye. Poor Marion Chambers. Halloween H2O. All right, so that's too bad. Okay, so oh crap, keep forgetting to. Okay, so it was 4, and he moved 1, and Dr. Loomis moves 4. 1, 2. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that's it. You didn't get to draw a card. All right, so Laurie was here, and it's Laurie's turn. No, it's Jimmy's turn. 4. Jimmy's going to try for the badge, and Michael moves 2. 1, 2. Next turn, Michael will, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, Michael will win the next turn because he'll move 1, and that's it. So, wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is a loss. He killed 1 person, and the rest of us are just left here holding ourselves, I guess. Holding, well, Dr. Loomis has got his thing and holding skull pumpkins, whatever. So there you have it. Well, okay, so that's the Halloween 2 game. As you can see, it's kind of challenging, I think, with probably doing all 4 players because Michael moves more and the people move less. It seems like, because every turn Michael will move. If it's just 1 person, you know, I can see how that might be easier. 2 people, you know, so it really just depends. Maybe there's advantages for both. Maybe if you have better luck with the weapons, it'll do better luck with the spinner. But anyway, there you go. So hopefully you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. This is Halloween 2, the game. This is your absent friend. And be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned for more Halloween or more games other than Disney Villainous. I've got several more games I want to try out, some horror related games and some not so horror related games. Mostly movie based games. I do enjoy movie based games a lot. All right. So, anyway, have a wonderful day. This is your absent friend signing off.